Hello, everyone. Kelly Anderson here, the Feeling Good Mama, and I am here today with my new friend, Bernardo Moya. And when I hear your name, Bernardo, it makes me want to say Bernardo Moya in my best Spanish accent. How is that?
Well, that is pretty good, actually. That's very good. Bernardo Moya, that's 100%.
Bernardo Moya. I love accents. My daughter loves accents. So that's what we do around the house. We're always practicing different accents around the world. So, and I have this Southern accent. I'm always trying to somehow, I want to kind of use it and kind of get rid of it at the same time.
No, it's very nice. I love the sound accent. It's really, really cool.
Thank you. So I'm thrilled to have Bernardo here today because, wow, all I can say about Bernardo is wow. So I met Bernardo through another friend, and I was immediately like, wow, this guy, he is doing such big, huge things and creating huge things, and he's kind of on the level that I want to be on. And so I was like, I've got to know this guy. I'm so impressed with his resume. So first off, I'm going to give you guys a little intro about Bernardo, and then he can take over. So Bernardo was born in Spain. When you were, was it 6 or 7 years old, you moved to London?
It was the other way around. I was born in London. I moved to Spain when I was 6 or 7.
That's right. That's right. Born in London, moved to Spain at 7. And so basically, he's transcontinental, which is pretty awesome. And he basically had to make his way to, he went on a pretty interesting journey to find himself. And in finding himself, from what I gather, he was at the same time able to create just a very big, what's to me becoming an empire. And I think that's just remarkable and amazing. So I definitely want to get into all of that, Bernardo. But first off, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And just whatever you would like to say in coming on.
Well, listen, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here. And yeah, I don't know if it's an empire. I've just been like a lot of us, just trying to find my way, and in the process of my own journey of personal professional growth, I got into promoting events because of need or whatever. But kind of I just had the opportunity to promote great people, and I've been doing that for quite some time. And I'm the conduit. I'm the one that enables a lot of these live events and experiences to happen. So just part of what I do, and I love it.
I like that idea of being the conduit. And I think we're all conduits of something. We just don't know it. And if you start to think of yourselves in those terms, like for me, it's God working through me to do something way bigger than I could ever do on my own. When you start to think in those terms, I think you become more powerful. I think you are able to accomplish more because it's not vanity. It's the good for all humanity. So I wanted to start out with something along those lines. You went on a journey to find yourself. So I want to get into that a little bit, because to me it's an interesting journey. For what I've read, you're vulnerable. First off, you guys, I need to say, so Bernardo has just his. I mentioned his empire. incredible. It's called The Best You, and I keep wanting to call it The Best You Empire. But it's the Best You brand, which includes the Best You. Is it TV? Just a program or a television channel? What is that?
Yeah, it started with a magazine, which is digital now. We're actually going to be bringing back. We used to publish it monthly, so it's the Best You magazine. Then we went on to the Best You Expo. We created an online platform that we're just bringing back to life now, and the Best You TV, which was something I created during the pandemic, which is literally all the content that we filmed over the years from all our expos is on the online platform and it's on the TV channel. So it's just a network of different opportunities for people to learn. I've got a podcast as well. Different opportunities for people to be able to learn, in whatever format they like. So the Best You TV is just one of them.
And so it's the Best You TV, it's the Best You magazine, and also the Best You Expo. We're going to get into the expos in a few minutes, which I'm very interested in because I'm going to be taking part in the expo coming up next spring in Las Vegas, which I'm very excited about. But Bernardo is also an author. And is it 2 books or 3 books?
5, actually. I started
Five.
five, yeah. My first book was called 123 Ways to Look at Life, which was a combination of quotes. I love quotes, a combination of quotes and thoughts. Then I published a number of books which were around confidence, motivation, and And then I wrote that one, The Question, and then my last book, A Man Evolving. So 5 so far.
Wow, somehow I missed those first 3. This one, you guys, is The Question. And then the other one is A Man Evolving. So, and I'm almost completely finished with this one. And I have to have paperback or hard copy because I take lots of notes and I have notes all throughout this and I dog ear the pages. So it's a great read. It's very interesting, especially if you're into what I'm interested in. It's right in line with everything I'm completely fascinated in. So you guys, please get this book. So back to what we were talking about, you and your journey and kind of finding yourself. Let's talk about that a little bit. Maybe something in childhood that might have happened to you that you at the time might not have seen, oh, wow, I'm going to be running expos one day. I'm going to be meeting some of the top speakers and leaders in the world one day. Was there anything that happened in your childhood that would have kind of forecasted that?
I don't think so. I mean, funny enough, I say in that book that um, a lot of my experiences when I was young, obviously have, and everyone, I believe that everyone, we've all got a set of skills or things happen in our life that obviously are part of who we are, and then they come into play maybe at a later date, and we don't think that it had value. We don't think it has helped us in whatever it is that we're currently doing. But for me, I was involved in. I was a DJ. I used to work in nightclubs. I used to do lots of parties. So I was used to bringing people together. So it was something I did when I was young. I was a corporal in the army, which meant I was a bossy kind of dude, so kind of used to tell people what to do. And then I've been in sales. So all these things are obviously part of who I am today. The expos were like parties. I used to bring a lot of friends together, and I used to bring a lot of people together. It was just obviously during the day there was no alcohol. So, kind of, I suppose a lot of the things that I did in my youth did help me kind of achieve what I'm doing today. But I never saw myself as an author. I never saw myself. I always wanted. I had different dreams. I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be a lawyer. There's different things I wanted to do, but for whatever reason, and one of the reasons, I suppose, my dad died when I was 15, and it limited me on what I could or couldn't do, as my mum couldn't afford, to send me to university or anything like that. It wasn't an option. So I think a lot of the skills that we do have definitely are applied, and I know that I've used them, to enhance what I do today. But if there was anything, and I think there's only the main question of that book. The question is that the quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. So that's one of the things I repeat, and I'm confident about that. What can I do tomorrow? So for me, it was always about, okay, so my real estate, and I was in real estate for many years and it didn't work. I lost my money twice, and I was broke at the age of 40. So it was only by asking the right questions that I've got onto the path that I'm on today. What could I do differently? What would I like to do differently? What inspires me? What excites me? And it was only when I started getting into NLP and learning about neuro-linguistic programming and digging deeper into personal professional growth that I understood that that was something that really attracted me, something that really interested me, and that's kind of what I did.
Do you think most people ask these questions?
I don't necessarily think so. Not everyone. I mean, look, there's we one of the things obviously you learn with NLP is our internal dialogue, and the voice that we all have within us that speaks to us. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I don't have a voice." Well, that voice that you're saying that you don't have, that's the one that I'm talking about. We all have a voice, and we all have an internal dialogue. But is it positive? Is it negative? Is it asking you the right things? Is it saying the right things? And a lot of times, people that either suffer through depression or going through challenging times and can't get out of that spiral of bad thoughts, or being in a dark place, is because they continue to ask themselves, why is this happening to me? Why does no one love me? Why am I so sad all the time? Why do everything like this happen to me? See, these are negative questions instead of obviously the right ones, which would be, well, what could I do differently tomorrow? What if this is happening for me now? What's the reason why? What am I going to learn from this? So it's just about being aware of your internal dialogue and asking yourself the right questions. And unfortunately, people don't even realize that they've got an internal dialogue. And that's why for me, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, was so important to my upbringing and to become who I am today. So I've got to thank all the people that I trained with and learned from, and being surrounded by that, because I started to understand kind of the way that I could think or should think. I've always been a positive kind of guy. I've never, if anything, kind of whenever anything bad happened to me, I was always looking at the solution. I've never been a person that would just really start feeling sorry for myself. And if I did, it would be for a day. The next day I would be getting up and looking for solutions. So for me, it's in my nature, but a lot of people unfortunately don't.
Yes, I think you're right. And I think that's kind of why this book is refreshing. There's so much positivity here, and there's so much hope, you with all of the questions that you tell people to ask themselves. It's all about there's hope. There's always a next level, and I think that so many people, they forget that there's a next level, or they don't even understand there's a next level that we can go to. And so that's why I do think this book is a very important read for everyone, because it does make you question, like, this is my line of work also, mindset and motivating people. But even for me, reading this book, I found myself asking the same questions to me, and I was like, do I ask that? Do I, I don't necessarily think about that. So I thought that was really good. You talk a lot about passion, and you say that when you were little, you were called a dreamer. So how important is dreaming for our life, and how important is passion?
Well, dreaming is an essential part of obviously making things happen or achieving things. When you were asking about questions, kind of and I think I share that in the book. Every conqueror, every explorer, every inventor, every successful entrepreneur, anyone that has achieved anything that is of measure, had
Uh-oh.
go quicker. How can I fly? How can I get to the top of the mountain? How can I do this? How can I do that? And basically, that propelled that. Made it started happening in their mind. They started visualizing, which is dreaming. They started visualizing it, seeing it, living it, experiencing it, and then that's it. Every chair that you're sitting on, every piece of furniture, every car that's designed has come, to fruition because of someone's mind and thoughts and dreams. So dreams and visualizing is an essential part, and it's been proven as well that an athlete sitting down and visualizing a track, has the same, his heartbeat and everything is exactly the same as if he was on the actual track itself. It becomes a reality. And passion is a driving force of everything. It's the fuel that ignites thing, that makes thing happen. I mean, we have to be passionate about everything. I think the Latinos were just too passionate sometimes, but I think kind of the whole idea of living fully, of believing fully, being extremely passionate about what you believe in and what you want to achieve and what you want to do. We talked about this the other day. We were talking about, I've been lucky and blessed enough to promote thousands of speakers, and a lot of them are still in Groundhog Day. A lot of them are still living that dream of wanting to inspire the world or change the world, but they're still not taking action. They're still thinking about it. It's not this year. Next year, I'll write my book. Oh, not this. You just because at the end of the day, we don't know how long we're here for. The only reality is our mortality, and because of that fact, it's important to implement and do anything that you want, and don't let anyone, tell you you can't. When I did my expos, everyone told me I was mad. No one thought it was possible, and even the ones that didn't work that well, I still believe that kind of it's really important. The message that we bring with the expos and the speakers is very important. Change and ignite change in the world. So kind of I don't let anyone tell me that I can't achieve or do anything, because it's my reality, and we all establish our own realities. So yeah, visualizing, dreaming, and living passionately, two essential skills to have in life.
That was actually going to be one of my questions. What was on your way? What kinds of things did people tell you? Naysayers, what kinds of things did people say to hold you down? Because I've experienced it myself. I actually had someone just yesterday, basically like, why are you trying to achieve so much? What's the point? Be happy with being normal. And so what did people have to say to you along the way?
Yeah, it was kind of a lot of the times that people don't believe in the same things that you do. Sometimes they don't see kind of things that you see, but it's fine. First of all, it really is important to be surrounded by the right people. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of the same friends I had 20, 30, 40 years ago, because we're different people, but also a lot of them were just too negative, or fact too, they would think too small. I mean, for them, living in their little town and living and breathing and being in that same place for 80 years was sufficient for them. For me, the world is too small, and I haven't explored it all, I haven't seen it all, and I want to think that I can do events anywhere in the world. So kind of these are things that are incomprehensible, or were incomprehensible to some of them, and I respect that. So I think kind of one of the things we have to be prepared to and for is just to drop a lot of these negative people, get them out of your life. You don't need them, and you want to surround yourself by people that push you, that tell you that it is possible, and that yes, why not? And have you thought about doing something bigger than that? That's the kind of people we should be surrounding ourselves with. And that's either a coach, a mentor, or a friend. But a lot of times, unfortunately, the friends of the inner circles that we have, they don't see the same things that we see. But at the end of the day, if he's a good friend or she's a good friend, they should encourage you, to do and achieve anything. I one of my favorite hashtags is hashtag no negativity, and hashtag sorry not sorry. So those are my two favorite ones because I'm not asking for permission. And you know what? Guess what? If you failed, who cares? I would rather know that at the end of my days, I've given it all. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, that was sad. But who cares? I tried. They didn't.
Right. Exactly. I think you were saying surround yourself by people who are encouraging and people who are going to lift you up and try kind of propel you. But and I don't want to get negative here, but I see the vast majority of people, because they don't think that way, it's hard for them to it's hard for them to lift up because their minds don't go there. And a lot of times I think of the analogy of crabs in a bucket a lot. If you have crabs in a bucket, one is trying to climb out, the rest will pull that crab back down into the bucket. And I think in a lot of ways humanity is that way. And I think at some point you have to say, I, I'm okay with being alone. And you actually say that in here, that it can be somewhat lonely trying to, climb and get to the next level. Sometimes I think you have to say, I'm okay if I'm just completely alone for a while because no one can pull me back into the bucket. What do you think about going it? Do you have, is there some point in the rise where you kind of need to be a loner?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, as you quite rightly pointed out, maybe you have to be the one holding the bucket. All right. So don't be in the bucket, hold the bucket. And then, if not, leave the bucket on the floor and see you later. Let those crabs play with each other. But apart from that, yes, absolutely. And I've written that quite a few times, and I believe in that. I'd rather be alone. I would rather be alone than be surrounded by negative people. I'd rather be alone than people that don't believe in me. I'd rather be alone than, and you just add the blank. It's, you know, I don't know. We've all have gone through experiences in life, and where at the end of the day, it's just you and your thoughts. But I also believe in that. I believe that the best music, the best books, the best poems, the best love stories, the best, you name it, have been written by someone in a room alone. You know, and and there's nothing wrong with that. And at the end of the day, kind of look, it's also about surrounding yourself with different people. I've been lucky enough, and maybe recently, just because I tend to travel a lot and I'm not kind of like in the buzz and the center of it. When I used to live in London, yeah, kind of a lot of people, and then when I lived in LA, and I had a lot of people and lots of friends. But I tend to travel a lot, so I don't normally have kind of like an ongoing circuit of friends that I can connect with or talk to on a weekly or monthly basis. So I'm used to being alone, and I'm used to kind of spending a lot of time alone. Then when the events happen, then I just go all in, and then I spend 2 3 months in a very intense environment of producing the event and being in the event. But no, there's nothing wrong with it. But at the end of the day, again, listen, communications, phones, Zooms, Meets, whatever it is. And I shared this with you last time, Kelly. There's so many people like us or like you, that kind of that are just desperate or willing to give you advice, good positive advice that can help you, that can encourage you, that you can hear their story, and it's going to motivate you to do more, to achieve more, to be more. And that's kind of what we were talking. You're just getting started, and the fact is, you look a little bit like an alien to these people. Well, hey, listen, who cares? They watch this space. That's all they got to know.
Yeah, I'm okay being an alien. I don't want four eyes, but sometimes people do look at me like I have four eyes for sure. So I want to get into the expos. The expos. So no more for 2023. Is that correct? Or do you
That's
have it?
correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
So You will be starting in 2024, starting with February is going to be London. Is that right?
Yes, yes, we're trying to finalize. We're just finalizing the venue and the dates, but in principle, yes, it's February and confirmed is Vegas in April, 12th to the 14th of April.
Vegas in April. I'm going to be at that one, which
Yes,
I'm
you are.
excited about. And then there will be two more. Miami is one, I believe, and Texas. Is there one
We're
in?
looking at a couple of other locations for 2024 as well. Conversations in place. Right
Okay.
now, those two venues. A lot of the venues and the expos that we're looking at are really potential opportunities or partnership opportunities. We want to take the expo around the world. So plenty of conversations, but the ones that we got confirmed right now, London and Vegas.
Okay. And so for people out there watching, what do you want to tell them about the expos? I have a lot of coaches in my space. So to coaches out there, you may have an opportunity for them. For other people, my brand is the Feeling Good Mama. We're all about health, wellness, and mindset. So just people interested in that and just coming and taking part, give the spiel for your expos. What is so special about your expos?
Well, it's the best You Expo. It's the best. And no, it's an event that we've been producing for a number of years now, and it is all about bringing leaders, influencers, speakers, coaches, trainers, authors, people that are experts in all sorts of fields, from blockchain to AI now as well, and crypto. So it really is a place where great minds and great people come together. Those that are sharing expertise, those that are seeking, to learn, to grow, to evolve, to change. And it's just a great networking opportunity. So it's an event which has multiple rooms, 7 or 8 rooms, all titled differently. So there's something for everyone. The best for business, passion to profit, the empowering women room, the masters, mentors, and influencers, the inspiration zone, the yoga room, the meditation room, the AI and new tech room. So there's rooms for everyone, and there's obviously loads of exhibitors as well. Publishers, nutrition, vitamins, all sorts of people within the well-being industry. I call it the Glastonbury of the minds. It's a festival of learning. And for those of you that maybe are speakers, coaches, trainers, hey, listen, it's an opportunity for you to connect. If any of you are interested in being involved, well, get involved. Because the other alternative is you could do your own event if you wanted and go and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and lose all your hair like I did. And you're still not going to be guaranteed you're going to have a lot of people. This is the strength comes in the numbers. 150 speakers, each of us invite 50, 100 people. All of a sudden you've got 10, 12, 15,000 people. The difference this year as well, what we're very excited is we're streaming every single room. So for some of you that, if you want to participate, your talk will be seen all over the world and translated into 7 languages simultaneously through AI captions: Chinese, Arabic, Spanish, German, Portuguese. So it's an opportunity for people to share their expertise that can be seen around the world, but it's also an opportunity for people to attend, to engage, to connect, to do that reconnection again, okay? To meet other people. There's nothing like a good old hug and a good handshake and some good energy that you feel when you're walking down the room. And the other opportunities, if you still believe that you shouldn't leave your sofa or your computer and you still want to stay at home, well, hey, listen, we'll give you an opportunity to connect from anywhere in the world and watch it too. So that's what the Best You Expo is all about. It's just a great opportunity for speakers, exhibitors, sponsors, anyone that wants to get involved. And that's how we do these events. We only do these events because, people like yourself, Kelly, who's going to be there sharing kind of your expertise and knowledge. People like you are the ones that make it happen. So we're very grateful.
How do you see these events affecting the world? What kind of impact do you want these events to have?
Well, look, I mean, ideally, I want these events to be seen by hundreds of thousands and millions of people around the world, to be honest. My largest event was in London, which is in 2019. We had 14,000 attendees. It was 150 speakers. I remember it was Sunday night, which was we were closing doors at 6, and at 5:30 p.m. it was absolutely full. We couldn't, and it killed me because I had to kick everyone out at 6, not me, the venue. So but it was beautiful, amazing electric energy, and I know because I felt that in London, and so many people came up to me. I really felt it last time where people say, "Thank you, Bernardo, for putting these events together. Thank you. I came to the first one. I came to second, third, and fourth. And you know what? Guess now I'm a speaker now. And now I'm sharing my expertise. And now I publish my book." We just don't know the ripple effects that it has. But I do know that hundreds of thousands of people have attended all the different types of events that we've done. And there's always an impact. There's always a message. There's always something that someone says or a connection that is made that we just don't know the ripple effect it has in the world and the planet. If anything, it's just good positive energy is going out there, and God knows we need it. So, but for me, it was never enough. I've always wanted to do more. I wanted, well, why can't I have 100, 200,000 people watching this from all over the world? And the fact is, we can. But we can if we come together. We can if we join forces, and that's kind of where, for me, that's where I'm at my brand. So if there's anyone out there that feels that they've got either an event or a sponsor wants to get involved, let's talk. That's kind of my main thing that I've been doing now these last 2 or 3 months. Let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. What can we do? How can we reach more people? So hopefully I'm just getting started. And hopefully, in a few years from now, we have millions of people watching our events, and we've got expos happening all over the world. That's my big picture.
Well, that was going to be my next question. You're such a big thinker, and you've already, in my eyes, you've already created and accomplished so much. What is that you just want to just continue to go bigger with the expos, or do you have any other ideas in the pipeline?
No, for me, it really is more about reaching more people and making the expo, available and globally. Because I think, again, strategic partnerships. Someone might want to take the expo to India or to China or to Mexico, whatever, and because there's inspirational speakers all over the world, and that good positivity message of, hey, how can I become the best you? If we can get that message out there and educate people, because as we know, we don't learn skills. We don't necessarily learn what we need to learn in schools. And it's only by, connecting and meeting at these events. So that's my big picture. It's a challenge to put these events together. It's a challenge because, the pandemic didn't really help us, like it didn't help a lot of other people. So it affected us, affected me. But no, that's my big goal. Apart from that, I would love to leave it to someone to run it, and I'll show up and just look good. That would be great. And I want to write books. I want to write more books. I want to coach. I want to mentor people. That's what fills my heart. That's what I would rather do more than putting these big gigs together, because they're very challenging. But at the moment, I'm continuing to do it, and hopefully, there's going to be someone coming my way that will help me kind of scale it and take it where it needs to go. But we'll continue.
Well, I think it's awesome. I think it's just absolutely amazing. It's a lot of how I see things too. I really want to have a global impact on raising up humanity. I just want to take people sometime, and I just want to shake them and just be like, this is your one life. This is your life. Just go out there and just make something of it. It's like we need all hands on deck right now to make an impact, to make things better. That's my own personal perspective. I know that there are a lot of people who want to just, sit around and watch Netflix, and that's okay. But I feel like if we all came together, wow, what could the world be like if we all started really working together, lifting each other up? So I'm fully behind you, Bernardo. I just think it's absolutely amazing. Anything else you want to add to that?
No. Well, listen, I'm just very honored and thankful for you to bring me here today, for me just to share a few ideas and talk about a few things. But no, look, I'm a straightforward guy. I just believe that the world needs change. The world needs to, for leaders to step up. Jeff Hoffman, a good friend of mine, he was sharing this idea about there is no they, and there is no they. So I think it's really important, and part of what I have been talking about recently, which was with my other book, A Man Evolving, is about bringing love, to the forefront of everything that we do. So I'm doing my events because I love what I do, and it has love behind it. And I just think that that's what the world needs more of. I mean, when you're looking at the division, in politics, and how we're destroying the planet, and all the things that are happening around the world that are not fair, it's part of this process of us becoming better humans. So for me, really, the message of the best you, and I hope it continues to come through, is around creating better individuals, better humans, that share more love and talk more love. Everyone's so happy to talk about, their six-figure, salary, or their latest car or condo that they bought, but they struggle to talk about love. They struggle to talk about relationships. They struggle to talk about or expressing it. So that's the part that I've been kind of really exploring, and that's where I am very passionate about. Is bringing a little bit more love to the world, and being okay to express love, to express what we feel.
I love that. And I do think it's what is needed. That's what's going on in so many ways. It's a complete lack. It's just missing. It's gone in so many areas right now. And I do think that that is the answer to so many of our issues.
Agreed.
So, so Bernardo, thank you so much for being with me today.
Okay.
It's just a huge honor. I want you guys out there, please go check out. It's the best expo.com or .co.
.com, and it's the bestyou.co, correct?
Yeah. So, the best expo.co.
Thebestyouexpo.com and thebestyou.co. That's the brand, is
Okay.
thebestyou.co, and thebestyouexpo.com is where you can find all the information related to the events.
And if someone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, I'm obviously kind of, I'm quite active on Instagram. So Bernardo Moya. My webpage is bernardomoya.com as well. I'm pretty much all over the place, but anyone that goes to thebestyou.co, there's a contact form. They can contact me as well. But yeah, happy to speak to anyone and advise anyone on anything that I might be able to assist with. So absolutely.
And you guys check out The Question and The Man Evolving. And do you promote your other 3 books?
Well, I mean, listen, they're older books. These are A Man Evolving I published early this year, and then The Question I published a few years ago. I'm very proud of both of them, and obviously my other books as well. They're like babies. They're not. Some of them come out a little bit different, but you still love them. But listen, they're just ways of expressing kind of what I felt at the time, or what was important to me at the time. So they all have value. But no, I'm very grateful. And anyone that would buy the book, well, listen, I'm also very grateful. I always say this: listen, if you love the book, tell everyone, and if you didn't like it, don't tell anyone. Okay, that's it. It's as simple as that.
I love, you're definitely a history buff, and I love that. But you can't see it here, but right here I have a library of almost every self-help book known to man, and you mention almost every one of those books in here, and I was so proud. I would just look over and I was like, there it is right there. So you and I were very aligned in the way we think, and I just think that was very cool. It's a very cool book, and
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to read the other one as well.
Thank
So
you.
So, Bernardo, thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate it so much. You guys out there, I appreciate you all so much. And please join me. I am on YouTube, The Feeling Good Mama. I am on Facebook, The Feeling Good Mama. Let's see where I'm on Instagram. I have multiple pages on Instagram, but definitely The Feeling Good Mama. So we're always growing, and we're always just like Bernardo. We're trying to reach as many people as possible. We want to lift you guys up. We want to make you guys the best you can be for sure. So thank you, Bernardo. And
Thank
we
you.
will see you guys soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.